All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash, double honors to apostles of great millstone, and salutations to elect, what you ought to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelites who bear the shame of looking like heathens, who spirit bear witness that they're a child of Heavenly Father. In the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jehovah God. In the name of the Heavenly Son, it's just Yahushai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos, or Yeshua, Yeshua, Yahweh. And pretty much this is what World Star Hip Hop, and it's the title is, it said, these deep fakes are getting too real. It says someone put Jimmy Carrey's face over Jack Nicholson's in the Shining movie, you know. So they also showed an instance of this when it came down to I forget his name. The one that played uh, the one that played Brian in the movie Fast and the Furious. You know, when one of the latest movies that he had did and stuff, he actually didn't finish the entire movie and stuff. So what they did was put up what is called CGI. You know, where he further played in certain parts and stuff, and probably had like a couple of stunt devils and whatnot. But when it was like a close up on his face, it was CGI, meaning it wasn't him actually. You know, it was like a realistic computer imagery of him. You know, which is witchcraft. You know, it's a witchcraft because when it comes down to witchcraft, what do they do? It's how to change the appearance. You know what I'm saying? It's imagery. It's putting up an image, but when the image is not actually there, you know. And I'm gonna play this, you know, and then get into some scriptures.
Wendy, let me explain something to you. Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me, and it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Yes.
Fine. And we're gonna make a new rule. Whenever I'm in here, you hear me typing. Whether you don't hear me typing, what the fuck you hear me doing in here, when I'm in here, that means that I am working. That means don't come in. How do you think you can handle that?
Yeah.
Fine. Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
Okay.
You know.
Wendy.
So there you go. There you go. It was another person playing as another man. You know. So guess what? They could do this when it comes down to the men of the Lord, when they want to set us up, when the persecution is given to its most heaviest peak. You know, what are they going to try to get the masses to come up against their own? Just like how you had the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees do when it came down Yahushua. They wanted them dead, man. You know, they wanted dead. They wanted to lay hands on them. You know. This 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." And we already know. We already know. That's why you got the little video right there. You know how how Brian and Fast and the Furious, how he was within later Fast and the Furious movies and stuff, but yet he died already. You know, which I believe was the execution and stuff, because with the Porsche and how it was leaking, and they didn't know how the car oil was leaking. They don't know how it started and stuff. It sounded like a hit, you know. But anyways, we know that Satan is going to use these things and stuff, you know, and it's going to be good enough, you know. This imagery witchcraft is going to be good enough to cause majority of the people be like, man, that's his voice, that's him, you know. He stuttered the same way, he speaks the same way, he using the same words and whatnot and stuff, you know. It's like, yeah, that's him, you know. But it ain't gonna be us, you know. And that's how you people gonna fall for the okie doke, man. You know, and then a lot of 2/3 of Israel and whatnot, well, the Negroes, Latinos, and natives, and Israelites who look like heathens, but they have the spirit of Israelites. Um, the thing is that a lot of them hate us and they hate this word. So if they find anything, to even if it's false, you know what I'm saying, they gonna do it anyways. They gonna agree to it, and it's gonna be your shame in the end. This is this Mark 15, and Salakia, bear with me. I'm trying to find it. All right, I'm gonna skip through. This is Mark 15 and Mark 15 starting at verse 3. It says well, verse 1, it says, and straightway in the morning the chief priests held consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council, and bound Yahushua and carried him away and delivered him to Pilate. And Pilate was pretty much a judge. It says a court judge. I'll skip to verse 3. It says, and the chief priests accused him of many things, but he answered nothing. So they accused him of many things, but it was all a setup, you know because Yahweh was taking the glory from them. He was about being his father's business, and the Lord was glorifying Yahweh by doing his work. And the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees and stuff, they adored the positions that they had. You know, pretty much they was famous. For being in a position that they were in. And the Lord was taking that shine away. And it says verse 4. It says, and Pilate asked him again, saying, answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against thee. You know, uh, all right, verse 9. It says, but Pilate. Now, when you read up, it goes into Barabbas, and Barabbas was it was proof that he had did a crime. You know what I'm saying? And the people were writing for Barabbas to be released instead of Yahushua. You know, uh, uh, it says verse 8. It says, and the multitude crying aloud began to desire him to do as he had ever done unto them. It says, but Pilate answered them, saying, will ye that I release you, the king of the Jews? It says, for he knew. See, knew. It says, to learn to know, come to know, get knowledge of perceive, feel, to become known, to know. So he knew already. you know it says, for he knew that the chief priest had delivered him for envy. you know it says, but the chief priest moved the people. See, moved the people, meaning that they had convinced the people, man. And ain't that world star hip hop video that I just played? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that really convincing? Even though that wasn't the actual person that was considered to be within the movie. You know, I mean, how they was able to use one person, who was gonna act out the activities or act out another person and stuff to make it seem like it was that person when really it wasn't. Witchcraft, is a manipulation of imagery, man. And the when they show that, guess what? They're gonna they're gonna be able to move the people with certain words, certain things that people don't like. They could mess around and call us pedophiles and stuff, and put up a whole scene and make it seem real, man. You know, uh, 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 they can say that we killed somebody, well, that we did this or did that. You know, they can call us sex traffickers and stuff. What do the government always do when they come down to somebody that's coming against them? They smack them with child porn. Now, don't get me wrong. When they come down to those people in the Vatican, these churches and whatnot, hey, they do that for real. But when it come down to the men of the Lord, and we're claiming that we're gonna follow the law, statute, commandments to the best of our ability and stuff, knowing that we can't keep all the laws, but we have a lot of power in laws that we can keep and will keep, you know, that we abstain from all appearance of evil and uncleanness, you know. But they're gonna use this imagery, they're gonna use this technology just to fake the funk, to make us look like we're doing these things, and it's gonna be enough because it hurts people in certain areas. Somebody might have a child, and then they put up this imagery and stuff, and that's not even put up a scene of how a man is doing something or a woman is doing something to a little kid, but that person ain't even doing that for real though. But it's gonna be enough. It's gonna be a quick enough trigger for a majority of our people to be like, oh yeah, that's true. He was weird or she was weird all this time. They always kept to themselves and stuff. Now we know what they was really on. No, actually, you just got lied to and you fell for the okie doke. You know. Um, uh, you know. So the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees and chief priests and stuff that was envious of Yahweh Shai, they moved the rest of the people, meaning the people didn't have no evidence. They just had word of mouth, you know. And even if there was evidence and stuff, it was fabricated, man, which means it was created and actually wasn't there, And this is how the people gonna fall for the okie doke, and want to come up against the men of the Lord and want us dead, you know. Uh, it says, I mean, it ain't funny and stuff, but it's just ridiculous on how our people can easily be convinced. Verse 13, it says, and they cried out again, crucify him. It says, and then Pilate said unto them, why? What evil have he done? It says, and they cried out the more exceedingly, crucify him. So they ain't had no reason. But they wanted him dead, though. They was that moved, man. You know? And it's the same way because, like it says in John 8:44, it says, ye are your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye shall do. He is a liar and the father of it. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? When Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasians, when they put out that, well, the elites and the ones who really want to destroy this word and whatnot, or stop this word or bring it to an end, hey, guess what? They're going to be the same ones, that's going to use this technology and whatnot to bring out fabrication, and then next thing you know, majority of the people where it hurts their feelings and stuff, they gonna be like, oh, he needs to be in jail. He needs to be behind bars. You know what I'm saying? No, he needs to be put to death. We don't need that in our world. But here you go. You got people who plainly coming out, you know, you got little kids, man, twerking and whatnot. Got the half shaved head with the hair curled over and stuff, with makeup and eyeliner on and stuff, and it's a complete boy, or and twerking in front of grown men in leather suits that's showing they behinds, man. That's okay, and you people are cool with that. But when it come down to the men of the Lord and we speak against it and stuff, guess what? Now we become the bad guys, you know. You know. So they wanted him dead. They wanted Yahushua dead and stuff, even though they didn't have no concrete proof. Um, this is this Luke 20:20. It says, this is Luke 20:19. It says, and the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, meaning Yahushai, and they feared the people, because it's like, what would he have done? You know what I'm saying? For them to just come out of nowhere, because the people believed that Yahushua was a prophet, you know? So they didn't want to do anything where the people would have came up against them. It says, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them, you know? And Yahushua was cutting them, man, you know? Verse 20, and the only reason they was getting cut is because more than likely they was the ones who was doing it, you know? Verse 20, it says, and they watched him and sent forth spies which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and the authority of the governor. And you have you got the scriptures in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter and stuff, and you'll have somebody come up, come up as a believer or being paid off and whatnot. They ask you and be like, it's like, so you believe that this is okay and whatnot? And when you read John, when you read John the 4th chapter, it says that the true believer shall worship in spirit and truth. So if the Lord had made a rule based off what was going to or in resolve of what's going to happen based off a certain action or something that was done, how to deal with that situation and stuff, the people would look at us as like, oh, you all are rapists, or you all are this and you all are that and stuff. And it's like, but guess what? It's the Lord's word though, man. Moses ain't do this, because remember, Moses got called out to lead the people and whatnot. But the thing is that whose word it was in the first place. That's why I always quote this. If majority of our people and stuff, they say that they love the Lord and stuff, they show much love with their mouths, but in their own works and their deeds, they show that they don't love the Lord, right? And the thing is that if the Most High Himself put Himself, came down and looked upon as a human and stuff, I mean, just came down upon the earth and whatnot and stuff, in a stature like how everybody else is, just a regular J. Guess what's gonna happen? And he come out with the truth of the Bible because it was his words. Hey, guess what? They gonna seek to kill God Himself. These people can't say that they wouldn't. Why? Because the scriptures are recorded that the men of the Lord was gonna be slain, man. And it was based off what we had said, man. So there's certain bitterness in the scriptures that is true that the men of the Lord do agree with, because we ain't above the Most High. So and we like minded, like manner and stuff. But that would be enough to use to move the people onto wrath to come against the men of the Lord. And they was trying to tempt Yahushua. It's like, also, you believe this and stuff, and then next you go tell everybody else he believes this and whatnot and stuff. But it's like, ain't you a true believer as well? Whose words is it? You really think that it was Moses teaching the people on how they need to be taught and stuff, by his own words? Or was it the Heavenly Father, who the Heavenly Father was giving unto Moses to give unto the nation of Israel so they can come back unto him? You know, which is also can be used as Satan's devices, because Esau knows that actually this is Psalms chapter 10. I read verse 1. It says verse 4, Psalms 10 and 4, it says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance would not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. To be proud. It says, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I never shall be in adversity. That's not what I'm looking for. Right here, verse 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit. And that's why we call him the devil, because devil means deceiver, and he's going to uses different technology and stuff, holographics and whatnot, just to deceive the people. It says in fraud, when you go into the word fraud, it's the word the walk, the tha and the wa and the ka, the walk, and it says injury, oppression, oppressor, fraud, deceit, deceitful. It says so they're gonna fake something. It says under his tongue is mischief and vanity, and that word mischief is trouble. So he's gonna cause trouble for the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying, to get the people to come up against us. You know, verse 8, it says, he sitteth in lurking places of the villages. It says, in secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. And that's really what I wanted to come out with and stuff, because they plot on the men of the Lord. They that's why you got to see if if the videos are okay for the children and whatnot, because they trying to find anything they can just to disband this truth, man. you know and then majority of our people, they want that to happen as well anyways. And I did a sit down going into the fame of the word. It's that for a lot of people who pray that this word be done away with and stuff, where you don't hear it, where you can't see it on YouTube no more, or see us outside and stuff, hey, your prayer is going to be answered. But you're going to be the same ones going to and fro looking for us to receive this answer, man. you know and shoot, who knows, whoever lot it is and whatnot, to be locked up or to put to death and stuff, you ain't gonna find that person, because he either dead or locked up. And it's not gonna be a regular jail, because they're gonna be worried about the men of the Lord waking up other people in jail, man. you know and if they trying to stop the word, they're not gonna send us to what, Cook County, or whatever county you live, county jail and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Or the pen or a prison. They're not going to send you there. They're going to send you to some special one where you can't find, that's not looked up in the yellow pages, man. Or the white pages or whatever. Where you can't look on the internet and know. It's going to be something secretive. You know? You know? Verse 9, it says, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor, and when he draweth him into his net. And one of the things is that when they shut off the internet and whatnot, they'll be able to say whatever they want to. And if people already hated us and stuff, they're gonna be like, yeah, he's capable of doing those things like Unite. But I'm just saying, he's capable of doing those things. He's capable of being a killer. He's capable of doing this and doing that and stuff. When the scriptures clearly says that to be at peace with all men if possible. Hey, Apostle Bar, he said a couple of sit downs before. He said that that he don't really like being around masses of people, because there's always trouble that's happening and stuff, man. You know. And then you don't want to be around people that's not like-minded like you, man. Because they can easily turn and come against you, man. You know. Uh, you know. I want to grab this. This is John 16:2. John 16:2, it says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. It says, yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you would think that he doeth God's service. You know what I'm saying? The Most High service. So, hey, it's going to be certain things that's going to be ticking people off, that's cutting them soul asunder, not just the word, but even with the fabrication of the lies that Esau is going to place upon us and want us dead and think that they doing the Most High service. But when you go into Christianity is against the law, statutes, and commandments in the first place, the ways of God anyways, man. Christianity teaches you that you could do whatever you want, do as thou wilt, which goes back to Aleister Crowley, a 33-degree Mason, which Masonry is built on witchcraft, man. And they get either this word alone, like it says in Jeremiah 5:14, that I will make the words that I put in your mouth, meaning Jeremiah the prophet, that it would be fire, and the people will be wood, meaning they're gonna get devoured by it and stuff. You know, we telling people that they can't smoke and eat pork, shrimp, lobster, catfish, calamari, lobster. I mean crab. Eel, shark, shark fin soup. That they can't have sex with other men's wives. You know, that that women can't hop from rod to rod, man. You know, the word alone is gonna cause people to want to put us to death, man. You know, so how much more something that's something that a person really cherishes. You know what I'm saying, like their children or a certain way of life or something that they wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying, and then say that we did it and stuff when really we didn't. You know, and just quick little lesson. I hope it was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to apostles of great millstone and salutations to your elect which you ought to be. Shalom and a Paul.